Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Differences podcast. My name is Dallas, and if you like snarky assassins, hilarious dialogue, crude humor, and over-the-top violence, then Hitmonkey is the show for you. Also, Deadpool and Wolverine came out, and we're going to talk about that too.
That was very good. The
Thank
misdirection
you.
was very good.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Let's see. I'm Cassie, and I never know what to say in these things because I don't be watching the things that these people be watching.
Say whatever you feel.
Hey guys, it's Demi, and man, it's crazy that we are only going to get one MCU film this year, and it's this one. Welcome
Love
back
that for
to
me.
the Creative Differences podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Fancast Fridays, Throwback Thursdays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. Come for the movie reviews, stay for the thirst. I don't know how much thirsting will be going on in this episode. Today, we will be
Probably not a
talking
lot.
about Deadpool and Wolverine and Hitmonkey, as Dallas just said.
Yes, it is the perfect pairing. Like, they're both Marvel. They both fit the description that I gave. Couldn't ask for a better timing to talk about both of these things. Also, Gabby's not here. She ran off to another state without telling us why. That is not a bit. She just left.
What?
So, Gabby took off.
Yeah, it's on the calendar.
It's on the calendar. She didn't
Which
say
state is
anything.
he in? I saw it, but I can't remember. Maybe we
One of
shouldn't
the
say
East
just
Coast
in
ones.
case he's in legal trouble.
Yeah, I'm not going to narrow it down. If the feds are looking for her, I don't want to be a snitch.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting one that I wouldn't expect.
Right?
We have no idea why.
Before we get into the episode, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell everybody, please. Or your universe will be destroyed by a dude from Pride and Prejudice.
Oh my God, he is.
He is.
Mr. Darcy.
And freaking Gabby's not here to talk about it. Ridiculous.
Right? Absolutely ridiculous. The Pride and Prejudice fan, not here.
Disappointing. All right. So we leading with the big one?
Yep, we are.
We are leading with the big one. Deadpool and Wolverine. Directed by Sean Levy. Written by Ryan Reynolds, Rhett Reese, Paul Wernick, Zeb Wells, and Sean Levy. If you don't know Sean, he worked on Stranger Things, did the Adam Project, he did Free Guy, Not at the Museum. He's been around. Been around for a minute.
He did Big Fat Lie.
Big Fat Liar, yes, he did. He's got some range. Been working for a long time.
He also did Jet Jackson, the movie.
I did not know that.
I found out yesterday.
That's my favorite things now that I learned about him. Yes, Ryan Reynolds, you know who he is. Rhett Reese, Paul Wernick, Zombieland guys.
They did that movie Spiderhead.
Oh, wow. Forgot about that.
Yeah, and they also did obviously like the first two Deadpool movies.
Yes. And Zeb Wells, he is a writer for TV mostly. He wrote for Robot Chicken a bunch. He wrote an episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Yeah, Zeb Wells. Shout out to Zeb. IMDb summary is Wolverine is recovering from his injuries when he crosses paths with the loudmouth Deadpool. They team up to defeat a common enemy. Yes, that is a thing that happens. So much happens. Oh my God, this movie. Initial thoughts. I love this movie. Of course I love this movie. You know who I am. You know what this movie is. You can't be surprised. If you are, you don't know me, which is fair. I'm not a well-known person. To me, initial thoughts.
My initial thoughts are this movie consists of a fight scene to the song Bye 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 by NSYNC. There is no way I was not going to like this movie.
I love that so much.
It opened with very, very good vibes. So for me. So I was like, yeah, of course, I'm going to end up liking this movie. I'm having a great time.
Yes. Great time.
Yeah, it's like I had a lot of fun. It's extremely funny, as the Deadpool movies always are. There's some heart to it. And I also feel like this is a really good goodbye to the Fox superhero movies as well. Almost a goodbye to 20th Century Fox just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because it's been how many years since Disney bought Fox, and this is like the official goodbye kind of that nobody thought we were going to get.
I love that we got it in this way, though, because, you know, if you're going to do it, let Deadpool just be silly about it.
It also felt very full circle.
Yes. Yes.
Because the first time we ever saw Deadpool live action on screen was in Wolverine.
Yeah.
Which wasn't a great movie.
No.
And now we get this movie, which is a very good movie at the very least. Or it's a good movie at the very least. It's enjoyable and it's fun. I don't know if that can be said about... I mean, it probably is enjoyable and fun for some people, but I'm not sure how many people would say that about Wolverine.
I wouldn't. But I do like that that was kind of the entry point to getting this Deadpool that we got.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it for that.
I also think it's also really full circle, in my opinion, to say goodbye to Fox in this way, because Fox and Blade, which is not a Fox movie, but Fox and Blade are the reason why we kind of have the superhero genre. And on top of that, Kevin Feige started out at Fox, I think, I think X-Men was the first
I think it was the first
superhero
X-Men
movie that he produced. So like we wouldn't have the MCU without the Fox superhero movies, but also we wouldn't have Kevin Feige as Kevin Feige that we know without the Fox superhero movies either.
Yes. And speaking of Kevin Feige, this movie, it was so weird starting a Deadpool movie with the Marvel Studios logo.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this feels weird. And of course, they got to Deadpool it up. So he starts humming along to the theme song and everything like that. But they use the MCU in a very Deadpool way. They make the meta jokes. He interacts with so-and-so here and so-and-so there. But
a lot of jokes that I actually wouldn't anticipate either. Like a lot of poking fun at like what the very loud portion of the fandom have been saying for the last few years about Marvel movies.
Yeah. And to be honest, there's a lot of stuff that kind of pokes fun on like extra textual stuff that happens with some of the characters. Obviously, there's a bunch of cameos that we can't spoil, but some of the stuff they said about those, I was like, oh, okay, that's fun.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wow, we're making jokes about this for real.
Doing that.
I was like, Feige really approved this? Awesome.
Yeah, right. But yeah, like, if you like the first two Deadpool movies, you're probably going to like this one. If you don't, you're not. I think I love the Deadpool movies for that. Like, it's the easiest to know if this is your thing, this is very much your thing. If this is not, then it's very not. Like, if I had one complaint, it's the same thing I do with anything Deadpool is when you shoot 1,000 shots, you're not going to make all of them. So yeah, some of the jokes don't hit for me. Some of them go on a little too long, but for the most part, they do. And when they do, they really hit. I have to see this movie again because so many jokes I missed because I was laughing too hard at the previous joke, along with the rest of the audience. And it does things that people were like, oh, it's just going to be cameo, no plot, or it's just going to be silly and violent, no heart. And no, it's not either of those things. Like, they work a cohesive story through all of the fun fan service and all of the fun cameos. But there's a story here, and there's a lot of heart. There's so much sadness because you brought Wolverine back. And you have this version of Wolverine that you can do in an R-rated movie. So it's like, we've seen Logan. That movie wasn't fun. It was great. But now we can get the R-rated Wolverine, but through the lens of a fun comedy movie. But you're still going to have to get that tragedy that comes with an R-rated Wolverine. And man, Hugh Jackman killed it. Ryan Reynolds killed it. Everybody killed it.
I will say that as a fan of the previous two Deadpool movies, I did miss having the secondary cast that we're used to having, or at least more of them. Like, they are in this movie, and they are very much a motivation throughout this movie. But I really wish that there was more of them because we've grown to love them so much over these past two movies. Like, I love Negasonic, and she's like barely in this movie. Negasonic and Yukio and Vanessa. Like, I was one of those people who was like clamoring for Morena Baccarin to come back because it doesn't feel like a Deadpool movie unless Vanessa's there. But yeah, I mean, outside of that though, what we got is like, I really love what we did get. Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool.
Yes.
The comic accurate Deadpool, not whatever Wolverine Origins gave us. And Hugh Jackman is just amazing as Wolverine. There's a reason why people keep wanting him to come back. There's only been one Wolverine so far.
Yes, it's got to be Hugh, despite the fact that he's a foot taller than Wolverine's supposed to be.
Yeah, but he's been great all these years, and it is nice to have him back. I do appreciate the fact that they, despite what the movie may say, they didn't actually disrespect the ending of Logan. I actually very much appreciated what they did with that universe and their explanation of it, because I felt like that made the ending of Logan even more significant. And I can't say what it is because that's a spoiler.
Yeah, there's a lot of that with this movie. So I can't say what it is, but just know I really like it.
I like it. I like it a lot. When they revealed that, I was like, oh, that's so sweet. That's really nice. And it's a catalyst kind of the movie. It is what we are, actively kind of trying to avoid. But yeah, Hugh Jackman is great. I do think that this is probably officially his last time playing Wolverine, at least as a leading character.
I could see that. Like Deadpool makes jokes through the movie, like Marvel's gonna make you do this till you're 90.
Yeah, I think I think MCU Wolverine will be a different actor. But
I could see that.
But I do think that this was if Logan was like a good, like serious dramatic goodbye to Wolverine, this is a good, fun very comic booky goodbye to Wolverine.
Right. Yeah, like a nice little comedic epilogue almost. They're so perfect together. And Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, off screen and on screen, have this perfect dynamic where obviously in real life they love each other, but they're so good at being on screen hating each other. And it's just something that even from the comics and the animated shows and movies, like I've always wanted to see in this format, this live action movie. So like, of course I love this movie. Like it was made for me.
Yeah.
Wolverine wore the freaking suit.
It's also got a really fun soundtrack.
Looks so good. It does. It does. And one thing all the Deadpool movies do is they have that go into the final battle rap song.
Yeah.
And I was not ready for what this one was going to be. So when they played, I was like, oh my God, that was like my favorite song in middle school. And I'm so happy they did it.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I like his suit this time around. Obviously, I like Wolverine's suit.
I did love the line that Deadpool says to somebody about how this Wolverine isn't ashamed to be in a comic book movie when he's commenting on
really
the way he dresses. And I'm like, yes, we need comic book movies that aren't ashamed to be comic book movies.
Also, I will say, like, I know that there are people out there who like don't like the Marvel or like the type of movies that are full of just Easter eggs. And this movie does kind of depend on those Easter eggs to make its story work. But it does make the completionist in me happy to have watched even the things that I don't necessarily enjoy. For instance, I am very meh on Loki, but this movie made watching Loki worth it.
Yeah, I agree. And last thing I want to say about that, because when you see, oh, they brought so-and-so back and they brought so-and-so back, some of them are just, well, maybe one big one is like, look at that. And then they use it for a silly joke. But there are movies where you build a team. And if these weren't cameos and references, and this was just a movie where you build a team, it would be like a lot of other movies. So like story-wise, it still works. It's just the people that they used to build this team are cameos and Easter eggs.
Yeah, and
so
I think
I was
that
like,
works.
yeah, it still works.
But it does make being a completionist definitely like...
It's a rewarding thing.
It makes it, feel very rewarding. Even, not even just being a completionist, but just like me and you in particular being as like focused as we are on like superhero movies and like movie news and stuff like that really pays off when going to see this movie. Yeah.
And I, as a big ass comic book nerd, I'm always a fan of the kind of love letter to so-and-so, like Spider-Verse and No Way Home are like these Spider-Man love letters. And I never thought we would get what feels like a love letter to a lot of forgotten Marvel adjacent movies. And we did. It's really sweet. And I love it.
Especially that credit video. I really love that video.
Yeah. But yeah.
Superhero movies have come a long way.
And I'm here for it.
I think this is my second favorite Deadpool movie. I don't know, man. I don't think any director has stacked up to like what Tim Miller did with that first movie. Just stylistically and just like, it's just so, that one's just so good. They're all so really good. But that one I'm just like, man.
I don't think, like, knowing who I am and the Deadpool fan that I am, I don't think I can separate myself from how excited I was seeing him for the first time in his movie. So I can't even really be like, I actually like this one better as a movie versus this one. It's like, the first one is such a moment for me that I'm not even really sure I can compare them all. But I do like them all. I love them.
Yeah, I really enjoy all of them. But man, that first movie, that one hit really, really hard.
Yeah, fantastic.
But this one's also really, really good, especially if you grew up watching superhero movies the way that some of us on this podcast did. And enjoying those superhero movies. I enjoyed the ones that we considered bad back then. I was a kid when they came out. I was like, this is cool.
We grew up with it. Just love it.
I'm older. My tastes matured, but still, I might go back and watch a few of them soon. And to be fair, some of those movies actually hold up really well today. Like the first 2 X-Men movies, still really
good.
solid movies.
Yeah. Really good movies. What a time.
But yeah, speaking of Marvel, continue with Hit Monkey.
Yes.
Tell us about season 2.
Speaking of violent, vulgar, adult-oriented Marvel things, what a time we're in. I love it. Hit Monkey season 2. Hit Monkey is created by Will Speck and Josh Gordon. They directed Blades of Glory, The Switch, and Office Christmas Party. So raunchy comedy is their bag. It stars Fred Tatasciore, Jason Sudeikis, Ali Maki, Olivia Munn. And this season, we're joined by Leslie Jones, Kristen Milioti, Stephanie Beatrice, and Keith David as the Devil, which never had a better casting in my life. Also, not the first time he's played the Devil. But, you know, when you got a Keith David voice, I don't know if you guys seen the clip of him yelling at that dude in the car. He's like, "Welcome to hell, motherfucker!" My favorite thing.
I have not, but he plays Hordak on the recent season of Masters of the Universe.
Is that like
so good?
Like a demon thing?
It's an alien thing.
Okay.
Evil alien.
He's
out to colonize the planets.
I can see him nailing that. IMDb summary: it tells the tale of a wronged Japanese snow monkey mentored by the ghost of an American assassin as he cuts a wide swath through the Tokyo underworld. This season takes place in New York, not Tokyo, but you know, IMDb don't be updating their stuff every season, which is fine.
It depends on what the show is.
Yeah, sometimes they do. Hit Monkey.
Also, I don't think people realize this, that IMDb is almost like Wikipedia in that anybody can update it as long as they have a pro account, I believe.
True. Which, yeah, I don't know what the quality control is of that, but I don't know. I don't work there.
I think having to pay for an account kind of keeps the quality in check.
I would hope so.
I think usually only professionals want to actually pay for IMDb.
That's true, because I definitely don't.
And I, as a professional, have been told that I probably should pretty soon.
Yeah. IMDb, send us some money, because we never send you guys in every episode. And, you know.
That's so true. Yeah. We really do. Every
Sponsor
episode.
us. Make our segment brought to you by IMDb.
We don't go to Wikipedia for our summaries.
Exactly. Only the best from IMDb. See, look, we can make it work. Anyway, so yeah, Hit Monkey, first of all, I need more people to watch this show, because I'm very afraid that it's going to get canceled immediately. Because nobody talks about it. Marvel don't talk about it. Hulu don't talk about it.
I'm actually surprised it's still
I'm
going,
so shocked
because it came out in that like period of time where Marvel TV was shutting down and we were starting to get Disney Plus Marvel stuff from actually Marvel Studios. Yeah. So all of that stuff got canceled except Hit Monkey.
It's like they forgot to cancel it. Like that dude in Office Space that they thought they fired and they realized they never fired him. He's just been working there in the basement this whole time. But hey, I love it. So yeah, the concept of a ghost walking around with a monkey killing people, it just sounds silly. And it is. But like Deadpool, they find ways to make it interesting. They find ways to give it heart. Bryce, who's played by Jason Sudeikis, he's the assassin. He learns new ghost powers over the course of the show, like moving things like Peeves, the poltergeist, or possessing people. We can also get awesome action scenes. Like, you know what I mean? I love a good animated action scene. And when you have a character who is a ghost and he has the ability to switch between intangible and corporeal, you can do really dope things with that action.
Danny Phantom.
Yeah, Danny Phantom if he was hanging out with a monkey. The show feels contained in a nice way. It's not like, because, you know, it's Marvel, like, oh, freaking, there's Daredevil, and there's Cloak and Dagger, and there's Iron Fist, which I love stuff like that. But also, if you're not into Marvel or don't know anything about the universe, you can watch this as its own thing. Like, they'll have a little cameo here and there, but it's not the purpose of the thing. Like I said, it's easy to think the show's just going to be crude and violent, but it has way more heart. You'll get halfway through a season and then we'll get a tragic backstory character with an animation shift, which I'm always a sucker for. And it's like, oh my God, what show is this? But it works because when you have characters who are going down this path, of course they have tragic backstories. You don't just wake up one day and it's like, I want to kill people for money. That's what I want to do with my life. Something's wrong.
You might, but that means something is very wrong.
Oh, yeah. If you just want to do that, something's way, way more wrong. Like, character work is all amazing. Fred Tatasciore is a great voice actor, and he's just making monkey noises. But, like, he has a surprising amount of range making monkey noises. Like, you can tell what emotions monkey is feeling if he goes like, oh, or like a sad, like, oh, like the whole show. Monkey's just making monkey noises, but you feel it. And it also helps that Jason Sudeikis, as the ghost who is tied to him, can understand him. He can like translate what people are saying to Monkey. And then when Bryce is able to like appear to people, he can speak for the monkey. They make it all work in a very, very good way. I love Jason Sudeikis. I love him as Ted Lasso. I love him as Horrible Bosses dude. I love him as a voice actor, a live action actor. He delivers snarky quips perfectly, but he does emotional moments just as well. I mean, you've seen Ted Lasso. You know what he's capable of.
I do. And I do love Ted Lasso. I tried not to, but I did.
It's great. Yeah, so like they show him he can be genuinely caring, but that doesn't fix him. Like he can't just stop being a dick completely because that's who he is. So you get lines like, okay, yes, selling you out to the devil was sort of a dick move, but I'm sort of a dick and you know that. So it's like he's accountable, but it's like this is who I am. I'm sorry, I can't fix it completely. Ali Maki is Haruka, a character that I loved in season 2. Like in season 1, she was fine. She's a cop, ACAB, whatever. But in season 2, she's amazing, and I love her. Olivia Munn plays Akiko. She's a character who was very demi-coded in season 1 as like a fight the power, like idealistic. We gotta save Japan. And then season 2, she gets in her dangerous woman bag and gets a different kind of demi-codage, which love that for her.
I love that there are different demi codes. That's great for me. It's diverse. It's a diverse range.
Yes, there are characters coded for lots of us. Stephanie Beatrice plays a woman from ancient Greece who was turned into a statue by the gods, and that's just something you got to deal with because it's a comic book show. And they play it straight. They're not like, wow, what a silly story. They're like, oh man, that sucks. Her being Stephanie Beatrice makes her Gabby coded. And speaking of Gabby coded, Kristen Milioti, she plays Iris, and that's the character I told you guys has the line that says, true crime is my favorite genre, right behind sapphic sci-fi. I really like Kristen Milioti, and I know her as the mom from How I Met Your Mother, but like that was kind of how I was introduced to her, but it seems like that's the outlier in her filmography because everything else she does is weird and kind of more like this.
I cannot wait until she's in The Penguin.
Yeah.
Which is coming out this year.
But yeah, she's great.
That'll be different.
Very. And she's kind of, she seems like she's just going to be like, I hate my dad, angsty girl stereotype. She's Bryce's daughter. And, you know, you can imagine Bryce, the dude who kills people for money and likes to drink and have random sex. Might not be the best dad. Also, he died. So, you know, he wasn't always there. But we get much more than, I hate my dad. So it's very nice. Running through some things, Eunice is a character played by Leslie Jones. She's amazing. I love Leslie Jones. Emmy Lowe is an actor I'm not familiar with, but she plays an adorable little girl named Dot who has super strength and looks like Samara from The Ring. But she has the temperament of an adorable child, and she loves Monkey, and it's the sweetest thing in the world. And I don't want anything to ever happen to her. Before I move things along, I just want to point out like some things that make it seem like you can see how much work and time they put into the show. Every episode has a different style of title card, kind of like Atlanta when you're watching, and then like they cut to something, it's like Atlanta here. So it's like, it'll say Hit Monkey in the snow or in someone's blood or in cocaine. Kind of the vibe of the show. The art that plays through the end credits is like beautiful hand-drawn art. Akiko's motion and expression looks way more dynamic than anyone else when she's angry, and I think that feels purposeful. The score by Daniel Rojas, fantastic. It's the kind of show that like, oh, y'all really put in more work than I expected from what I thought was just going to be a silly show about killing people. And I love that. And I hope they never cancel it, but I'm sure they will soon because I'm the only one talking about it. Yeah, it's great. Also, I recommend it if you're into shows like Archer or if you're into shows like Harley Quinn. I think Harley Quinn is very similar. This is like the Marvel version. It's the same type of humor. It's the same type of violence. I think Harley's animation is a bit smoother. But like, if you take that show and focus a little more on the action and kind of contain it more, because like I said, Harley Quinn will bring in every DC character. And this is kind of like Marvel's version, but a little more contained. And I guess a little less well-known, obviously. Hitmonkey is not a well-known character like Harley Quinn is. But yeah, anyone who likes Harley Quinn or Archer, I think you'll probably like the show. Give it a shot, please, so they don't cancel it immediately. Help me.
I mean, it got a season 2, so clearly someone's watching it.
Yes. Shout out to whoever that is out there. Keep watching. Let's keep it alive. But yeah, that's it, Monkey. It's a great time.
This episode is going to be extremely short, guys, because we decided not to do news recaps and trailer tracking because it's Comic-Con weekend as we are recording this.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to give you guys a full Comic-Con episode instead. Cassie, I believe you said you don't have a 10-minute take.
Today I do not.
Okay, I will give you guys a real quick what you've been watching because I have restarted Breaking Bad because that's a show I never finished. Reportedly one of the greatest shows ever made, created by Vince Gilligan, and it stars, oh my gosh, why can't I think of the names of the people in the show?
Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, it stars Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul, basically. Anna Gunn, RJ Mitt. I'm not going to go through the whole cast. Anyway, Breaking Bad is a show that I started at one point, maybe 10 years ago, and did not finish. I watched like the first season and maybe the first episode of season 2, and it did not hook me, and I did not come back.
For a decade.
Yeah, people and for a very long time, people have been saying it is like the greatest show ever made, period. And it's something that I personally have not seen. And as somebody who is obsessed with movies and television, it is my greatest love. I feel like I should have seen this thing so I can partake in the conversation about how good this show is.
Fair.
So I had started a Sons of Anarchy rewatch, which I'm still in the middle of. I'm in season 4 right now. Actually, I think I'm about to start season 5. But I was watching that and I was like, you know what show also came out around this time period? Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm. I'm going to restart Breaking Bad and watch it all the way through finally. So I'm currently halfway through season 2. And I am enjoying the show. I think that Walter White is already a prick. So I don't think it's going to take too much more for him to not be a great person.
Yeah.
I'm already like, bro, why are you treating your family like this? Like, dang. Like, I understand having to gaslight them, but geez.
What a sentence. I understand having to gaslight them, but geez. I get it from the context of the show.
Yeah, if either you're going to make meth and not tell the truth and gaslight your family, or you're going to make meth and you're going to tell your family that you are now a meth dealer. So it's like, it's one or the other. Which one are you going to choose? He clearly does not want to tell them the truth. So you're going to gaslight.
Bro, you got to have your wife in the kitchen bagging up meth. Make it a family operation.
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Let's go.
I want that to be a family business because then they go down with you.
I mean, yeah, maybe. But hey, keep it in the family.
I think he just wants to die of cancer and not have anybody know, but have the money from it ready.
Yeah. Like, oh, also, I was dealing meth this whole time. You're rich.
Yeah. Can't be arrested if you already died from cancer. So.
Fair point.
Big facts. Big facts.
But yeah, so far it's a very good show. I'm very happy because I just reached Kristen Ritter's part in the show, which is great. I love Kristen Ritter because I love Jessica Jones. And on top of that, one of the writers from Breaking Bad just got hired to be the showrunner for the Fourth Wing TV series. So I get to watch whatever work she did on Breaking Bad. She won 3 Emmys for Breaking Bad. I'm sure that she's a very talented writer.
Nice.
But I can get hyped up over the fact that this person who has written such a great TV show is now working on what could potentially be one of my favorite fantasy shows ever because it's based off of one of my favorite fantasy books. So
nice. That sounds promising.
I'm excited. This is fun. It sounds very promising, and I just want to put it out there. I would like to be a writer's assistant on the show, please.
Fourth Wing.
I know the material.
What's that going to be on Amazon?
So Amazon, Michael B. Jordan, MGM. If any of you guys are listening,
come through with a little
please.
bag.
I would love to be a writer's assistant on this show because I love the books so much.
Also, speaking of Breaking Bad, I want to say I also took 2 attempts to get through Breaking Bad. On the second one, I loved it. But also, when I was going through Breaking Bad, it was ending and I was in college. So I would go to class and I was a TV and film major. So everyone's like, oh my God, Breaking Bad, cinema. And I would go to class. And everyone's talking about season 5, and I'm on like season 3, trying not to hear anything. No. It was a minefield. Like, it ended while I was watching like season 4 or like early 5, and I was like, "Don't say anything to me."
I feel like
what a time!
Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones were both like, if you're not caught up on this, you just gotta avoid the internet for a while.
That was the thing, though, because I remember when Game of Thrones was ending, they were like, the finale, this final season's going to determine whether or not this is the best show of all time versus Breaking Bad. And then they flubbed those last few episodes, and everybody was like, Breaking Bad's still the champion. They still got the throne. they're still the winner. No, also the other thing that I've really been interested to see in Breaking Bad is the infamous episode Ozymandias, which was directed by Rian Johnson and also apparently written by the woman who will be show running Fourth Wing. So
dang, I remember that name, but I can't remember which episode that is.
Yeah.
But I know it's a big deal.
Yes, I've heard a lot about that episode, but I have no idea what happens in it. So I'm gonna find out. Moira Whaley Beckett is the name of the writer.
Nice. Shout out to Moira.
Once I finally get there, once I finally get to that episode.
All right.
But yeah, that's my what you've been watching. Breaking Bad.
Shout out to Breaking Bad.
Different opinions.
Different opinions. We have a lot because we haven't done this in a very long time.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So starting with YouTube, obviously, because we're a YouTube channel.
Mostly, predominantly.
Yeah. That's where most of our comments come from. For our interview with Dioria, remember that? We have a comment from
I do.
Dioria. He says, thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Thank you, guy. Thank you for coming through. Love to hang out.
We had a great time.
It was great. Fun times. I also have a comment from Mason who says, actually, this guest hails from Sierra Madre because Mason is annoying me on purpose. I said that Dior is from Pasadena. He's from Sierra Madre. Mason's also from Sierra Madre. Leave me alone, Mason.
The line between them is very thin. Like, you can be walking down a street in Pasadena and suddenly you're in Sierra Madre. It kind of happens.
And you'll notice because you look around and you're the only black person.
Mm-hmm.
We used to make jokes when we would hang out with Mason. It was like me, Daniel, Chart, like, all of Mason's minority friends. We were like, Mace, are you ready to like triple the people of color count in Sierra Madre when we come to your house? He was like, yeah, I told everybody. It's all good. All right. So those are the fun ones. Let's get to the other ones. The Acolyte short. We posted a short about the Acolyte and,
Let's go.
Star Wars. The fandom. That side of the fandom is always fun. So
yeah, we got the bad side of the fandom, not the good side.
Yeah, nobody who likes the Acolyte found our video. So from JS, he just dropped 2 trash emojis, which to be honest is kind of my favorite way to hate because it's just like, it's so concise. And 2 separate ones. He did like the bin and then the logo that you put on like the trash can.
I feel like it's too concise though, because are you saying the Acolyte's trash? Are they saying that we're trash for talking about it?
That's the issue. I was like, well, dang, are you insulting me or the Acolyte? Because I don't work for the Acolyte, but what I do to you. But I think because I've never seen this response to any of our other stuff specifically, I assume it's about the Acolyte. Also, the energy that these comments have seems to be more Star Wars targeted than us targeted. Also, Ukiah Duran, Ukiah, I don't know how to say your name. I don't care. The comment is, did they hotbox the room with copium? There is no way that someone genuinely believes that garbage needs a second season.
I did not even see that comment. That's hilarious.
Copium. Yo, that's beautiful.
That's very creative.
That's amazing. I didn't see that one. That's hilarious.
I do love the ways that people work cope into different words on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Like it just became a thing to say to people you disagree with. Like
hotboxing with copium.
But for the record, buddy, it feels like you're the one who's taking copium because you're so upset that somebody actually wants a season 2 for that show.
Yeah, Yuki, whatever your name is. No.
Also, we're not even all in the same room.
I was gonna say, like, which room?
From Dreska1. This one might be my favorite. They just wrote, ha! No. And 2 laughing emojis. Which
I don't know what that's a no to though, like a no to the show, a no to what I was saying, a no, like what?
It's so concise. It's too concise. It's like the other one. It's too concise, but it's just, I love the internet. Just ha! No. Okay. Belake the King. Belake, Bella, I don't care. Comment is
that supposed to be like a Key and Peele reference?
I think so. Like the way it's spelled feels like phonetically Belake, which is fun. Comment is, we found the 1% this was marketed to. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji.
The 1%.
I don't know.
How does that? What does that?
I don't know. I'm not. Like I said, I don't do Star Wars stuff. I know that this is one of those shows where the critics' score is a lot higher than the audience score.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that show got review bombed before the show was even out, and every episode was review bombed before it was even released.
That sounds like Star Wars.
That sounds like the very vocal minority of Star Wars.
Yeah, they like to do that.
Yeah, no, guys. This show was made for me. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Well, the thing is, the show was made for people who like Star Wars. It just so happens that some of those people are fucking nuts.
That's the internet.
But also, like, and I'm going to say what I said on the podcast review. Star Wars has so many elements to it that you can make so much stuff that maybe doesn't apply to you, dude. Part of being part of the fandom for Star Wars is understanding that there's now so much stuff in it that not everything's going to be made for you, and you're not going to like everything in it. And you don't have to. It's okay.
Not to mention, like, if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to spend your time and energy shitting on it and telling other people that they're wrong for liking it.
Like, I would be very happy to have a good-natured, good faith discussion about what you guys actually think about the show. What I have seen is people who like the show having genuine criticism of the show.
I don't know. I think no is a pretty great criticism of a TV show.
Nah, it's the hot box of copium for me. That God.
Yeah, that might be the best one. Yeah. So on the fun effort side of the comments spectrum, we have, did they hotbox the room with copium? And then on the lazy side, we have a comment from a fan cast we did about James Gunn's Justice League from like
so
a
long
year ago,
that was
at least, maybe 2.
the beginning of 2023, I think, when James Gunn took over from
like a year and a
DC
half
Studios.
Ago. And JD94, aka Mr. JJ Dizzle 23, cool name, man.
Nice.
Just said, WTF for these castings. That's the whole comment. And that's lazy. And
yeah, if you have an issue, tell us what the issue is.
Yeah, do something. There's a few comments on that video. This is the wackest one. Somebody fan casted a completely unrelated movie in the comments for this video, and that was way better. Do something. Be interesting. Throw in some emojis.
Also,
say hi.
I think what's crazy about that is like there's probably at least 3 of us on that episode.
Yeah.
If not 4 of us. Yeah. At least 3. Which means there are 3 separate fan casts on that video. Yeah. So which one are you talking about?
All of them.
Are you talking about all of them? Because that's a lot.
All of them.
And even if it's just like 3 of us on that podcast, sometimes we have alternate options as well. So
also, like, just be more specific. Are you being racist? Are you being sexist? Or do you just hate these actors? What is it?
Say
What's
something.
Wrong?
Or are you just wanting Snyder to be back?
Right, do something, man. Specify. Because at least, shout out to the person who did fan cast a completely separate movie. Katie Cage, we remember you. She also did comment a relevant comment. In addition to her fan casting 101 Dalmatians in our comment section, she also talked about our Batman casting. And I was like, okay, cool. You're engaging. But yeah.
Yeah, guys, we want you to engage with us and we want to engage back.
Yeah.
Have fun with us. We want to have a conversation with you guys because that's why we started this, to talk geek stuff with you guys.
I mean, I'll take
with other people.
A whack comment over no comment, but Dizzle, you gotta, if you're gonna go back a year and a half, make it worth it, man.
I mean, thank you for checking out the back catalog, but
I mean, well, yeah, I don't know how you found
we appreciate it. We do like the engagement, though. Actually, to the Star Wars trolls out there who were just purposefully looking for good reviews of the show so that they could trash the review of it, thank you.
Keep the emojis coming.
We love
it. Creative with the emojis. But Dizzle, you got to do better, man. Come on. Be interesting. So that's YouTube. Interesting. Instagram, Dioria said, thank you so much for having me again. I think he did that on like all of our socials, which was really nice.
Yeah.
Fran, your girlfriend, said, yo, this is so sick. Crazy how life works. We really did that. She is the vocalist on Dioria's song that we were talking about.
Love that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Shout out to Dioria. He got us some actual positive engagement when we posted that. So, you know, I'm always down to ride the coattails of one of my friends from high school. Comfort Wild says, fucking love you, brother Dioria. I'm so proud of you, fam. Yes, as am I. That comment has nothing to do with me, but I'll take it because it's on our reel.
I love all of the support. I feel like this is such a good counter to all the hatred from the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, it's a nice little palate cleanser. And then Stevie Renee, a.k.a. my real life sister, says, dope. Yes, Stevie, it is dope. Thank you for finally commenting on my podcast. Here you go.
I think she is she's commented before on several things. Yeah.
She has. I love you, Stevie. TikTok. Dioria left a different comment this time. Well, he also said, thank you so much for having me.
I forget that we have a TikTok.
But then he said, the story behind Body Talk is so wild. It is. If you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to it. Because promotion. A dude named Cactus Jack. I love that name because I'm a wrestling fan. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's fine. Wrote, LMFAO, good way to start the series. I'm not really sure what this comment means in relation to our interview with Dioria. If he means like an interview series.
Oh, maybe he means just that episode of Gen V.
Yes. Okay, I remember now.
Because it is episode 1.
Okay, thank you to me. It's been so long since we put out this episode. I didn't know what this dude was talking about. But yeah, shout out to Cactus Jack. That is Different Opinions. Keep them coming so we can have this segment. If you want to leave some emojis, If you want to say ha,
Even the negative
no,
ones, guys.
or ha, yes, or ask us what our castings are, even though you know what they are because you just saw the episode.
I would like to ask people to elaborate, though.
Yeah, because if I'm going to respond, I need to know, like, what am I responding to? Because I don't want to respond and just ask you, hey, man, what does this mean? Anyway, that's engagement. That's that thing. We did the thing. Thank you, audience, for listening to all of that. Thank you, audience, for leaving good comments. Thank you, audience, for leaving bad comments. Just thanks.
We're grateful for it all.
Yeah. We love engagement.
We actually we message each other whenever we get new comments.
Yeah, we're at that level where we get a comment like, hey, we got a comment. So get us while we're here, because when we start getting a lot of comments, we won't be able to read all of them because who has time for that? So if you want your comment read, leave it now. Thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon and Aya, for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. To me, thank you for editing and putting us on YouTube, seeing Deadpool and Wolverine with me. So this episode wasn't just me geeking out about my favorite superhero by myself.
Yeah.
Cassie, thanks for coming through. I usually say thank you for the 10-minute take. You didn't do it, but thanks for vibing with us.
I got you.
We love a Cassie appearance.
We'll do this again in like 2 days.
Yes. As always, you can reach us in the comments, or you can hit us on Twitter at y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC, and TikTok at Creative Differences Pod. Not going to speak for the group in regards to Twitter. I've been rethinking Twitter because Elon Musk is hot garbage, but that could be a conversation for off mic. If you want to find me, I'm still there currently. So if you want to talk to me about Deadpool and Wolverine or Hitmonkey, please talk to me about Hitmonkey. Show them that we're watching it. Find me on Twitter or Instagram at a king named Simba.
I too am still on Twitter, though no one should be at this point. Please come talk to me about Interview with the Vampire Season 2, because I don't know anybody who watches that show, and I think it's like the best thing on TV right now. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SassySoothsayer.
Hey guys, talk to me about Star Wars and The Acolyte. Let's just stick it to the haters. You guys can find me on Twitter at Demi_Joie, or well, I guess it's called X. It's Twitter. Demi_Joie. Joie spelled Joie. Thanks again for joining us. Tune in next time, probably sometime within the next few days. We will have an episode up with our reactions to some of the biggest news that came out of San Diego Comic-Con, specifically the Marvel panel. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. Let's get nerdy. And speaking of nerdy, comic books, and niche things like that, you can find Gabby on Twitter at Rob Liefeld's Feet Finder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good one.
Thank you.
There's levels to that one.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ones I've done. All right, it's been different. Bye.
Bye.
What's your favorite nickname for cocaine?
I'm still a big fan of Do You Want to Build a Snowman? So funny.
Yeah, I don't know that many, but I would say something to do with snow. Just because I don't know, there's just a fun image there. Like, it's snowing. Nope, that's coke. Like, all right.
There is a fantastic SNL sketch with Scarlett Johansson and Kenan Thompson, and Bowen Yang makes a cocaine reference, and he's like talking about going skiing down a slope.
The snow that goes up, understand? The snorty snow. I'm talking about crane.
And I'm just like, oh my God.
Love it. My favorite has always been the term white girl, especially because it has evolved into pretty much just saying any white person's name as a reference to cocaine. Like,
I have seen that.
Lil Dicky has a song called Cocaine, and he just refers to it by random white celebrities, and it's hilarious. Also, in Deadpool and Wolverine, they call it White Girl Interrupted, and I love that.
That was a really good one.